Wait, Inns had the Red Priest card? Wait, okay, hold up. Let's just start our recording for Volume 5, Chapter 940. Not 46, my bad. 47. Look, man, I don't know how to. We talked about this in our author notes. I don't know how to continue reading the series now that like after the whole part with the Last Dance, Dash. Oh wait, I can't swear. It's too early in the video. Hold up. I have to wait till at least a minute. I am too emotionally unstable. Medici had it. Ints had it. It was on Ints. I forgot. I literally, I was so traumatized reading the ending of Volume 4. Yo, what's up, Milosh? I was so traumatized and emotionally, like, it messed me up, dude. That Volume 4 finale messed me up so much, I was not able to process the part where we got a new card of blasphemy. I don't remember that. And now that we've read the author notes for Volume 5, it makes a lot of sense what the Volume 5 title is called. So if you guys don't want to know, I'll keep my hand up while we say that for people that watch the volume. And then once I put the hand down, we've said it. I can't believe Volume 5 is called Red Priest because the card was the card of blasphemy we got at the end of Volume 4. Let him read. That was amazing. All right. Now that we know that, that's pretty badass. I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to continue reading this. I'm scared. We have like, how many chapters do we have until we're done? 500 chapters? We're done. We are done in 500 chapters, correct? If I'm correct, the last chapter is 1,450-ish. I missed a few streams and y'all let him miss these things. No, that was on me. 1,430 chapters. Wow, we're actually almost done. It's a mistranslation. It's not the Red Priest. It's the Crimson Pope. Oh, it's a mistranslation. Crimson Pope. Oh shit. Thank you, Milosh. Yeah, my first read, I don't remember much either. Really? 1,400. Wow. We're so close to finishing this series. He's lying. Did he troll me? Dude, we're so close to finishing Lord of the Mysteries, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to continue. Bro, you came at me with the Unhinged jokes, man. Unhinged got me so good, bro. When we were reading our author notes, he got me so good. He got me so good. And now, like, he got me too. I thought it was actually, okay. It's Red Priest, son of a bitch. Don't believe him. Wait, I swear, that's okay. We're over 2 minutes. We're good. We're chill. So we are now here to read Volume 5. Now, before we read, hey, there's also COI. No, I know. We're gonna read COI, but there's just to set expectations. There's probably gonna be a gap. No, not probably. There is going to be a gap in between LOTM and COI, because one thing I do want to do once I finish LOTM, I want to do a few other videos. And see, like, I want to do a few more like manhwa manga videos before we go back into it and read maybe a few short web novels. Yeah, read a novel. Yeah, the plan is to read a few small ones in between. So we'll probably get to it. But for now, Lord of the Mysteries, Volume 5, blank. Don't let him read COI. He's gonna mispronounce everything. You know what, Mick? I probably will. No, you know what? Look, and I was going to read Overal V today and then look up, see if there's a Reverend Sign chapter. So I'll probably save that for maybe later tonight. Later tonight, I'll have a second unannounced stream. And before we start reading, how many chapters is Volume 5? Music change? Are we already? What the? How are we doing a music change already? We're still on that. We're still doing our intro. There's a music change in this chapter? Music change when we get to the Gray Fog, back to Path of Pain. Okay, awesome. So I know, I'm sorry, Clown Man. I know you want me to read. How many? I just so I know and set expectations. How many chapters is Volume 5? It's not English. Damn, dude. If I'm already messing up English words, it's 200 chapters. So we'll be done with Volume 5 around 1,000. Okay, 200 chapters. Okay. All right, so we'll be done in like in the 150-ish, 1,000. Wow, we'll be done around 1,150. Wow, that's crazy. All right, I'm excited. New volume, and thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for watching the Volume 4 finale. I hope you guys enjoyed watching a fucking grown man cry his soul out. That shit messed me up, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I want to go through that again. I don't know how much more I can take. So look, I'm saying this already. The next characters that are probably going to die. No order. No specific order. Between Benson and Melissa, one has to die. One has to die. One go. I know. Wiz is only 100. Yeah, we're going to catch up, dude. Either Benson or Melissa dies, and then either Forge or Shio dies. Between those two groups, one dies from each. Almost flicked you guys off. I'm so sorry. One is going to go. One is gonna go from both of those duos. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know exactly when, where. Damn, I know. The fact that Cuttlefish enjoys writing this shit and enjoys seeing his audience cry in misery. And you guys have told me since the volume 1 finale, like, oh, this isn't even top 7. Man, fucking Dally, that was the third most impactful thing that messed me up. I'm like, how are there 4 more? So either Benson, Melissa dies, one of them dies, and then another death is either gonna. Whoa, somebody unset. I don't know what you said to send. I don't want to know. If it was a spoiler, thank you for unsending it. No, it's okay. And then between those two, now we're at Force and Shield. One of them has to die. Their relationship has been. They have had such a beautiful relationship since the beginning of the series. Cuttlefish has to kill one, just to break everyone's heart. Everyone dies, including me. Thank you, Mick. Literally, what if everybody dies at the end? Like, what if like the story ends with the apocalypse? You know? I've written stories before, and it's really fun to write character suffering. Man, I feel like authors get a kick out of this shit. You know what? Yes. And the episode 7 episode 7 fucking Secretron. Oh, and then we'll do this beautiful tragic death. Like, authors love this shit, man. They love suffering, man. They love misery in their stories. Like, you know, and you know what is good? I'll be honest. I like reading this stuff. I like reading something that gets that strong of emotion out of me, man. Because it shows you how good of a writer he is, and it shows you how beautiful of a story it is. What's up, man? Are you guys ready? After stalling for who knows how long, I think that was our longest intro ever. All right, so if you like what you're going to see, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and whatever else YouTubers say in their beginnings. All right, time step is over. All right, update and read. Chapter 947 after our beautiful 6-minute intro. It's not like we've been live for 58 minutes. We are reading House Call. Backland Eastboro in a 2-room... Oh, wait, sorry. Last part. This is not stalling. Volume 5, we're going to the Abyss. We have to go to the Abyss. I don't know if I said it. Volume 5, we have to go to the Abyss. Every volume has been so different and drastic compared to past volumes. This volume, we go to the Abyss. I'm calling it right now. It's not called the Abyss, so maybe volume 6 we go to the Abyss. Chapter 947 is called House Call. Backland Eastboro in a 2-room apartment. A few policemen in black and white checkered uniforms opened a door and entered. All of them reached out to cover their mouths. There was a strong stench of blood inside. Officer, I have no idea what happened. Other tenants said that it seems like there's plenty of blood here, and they can even smell it from the next door. The landlord with a soaked top hat looked around in fear, unwilling to stay in the room for another second. A black-haired, blue-eyed police officer was inspecting an epaulette, waved his hands and said, "Wait by the door, we still have questions for you." As he spoke, he wrote his white gloves and cast his gaze towards the wooden door of the bedroom. However, he wasn't in a rush to enter. He slowly surveyed the area and visually took in the surroundings. A pile of coal, a cupboard with cutlery and food, a small stove, a cleanly washed iron pot, a somewhat greasy table, 2 collapsed circular stools, 2 slanted chairs, a few glass bottles with unknown powders, and a stack of scattered tarot cards. I'm sorry, what? A mysticism. You see, we've learned a new pronunciation. Thank you, by the way, Mick. A mysticism enthusiast with an ordinary financial situation. The black-haired, blue-eyed inspector nodded gently as he made a judgment. Then he signaled for a subordinate to open the bedroom door. With a creak, a stronger smell of blood gushed out. The constable is like my pleasure. The constable who opened the door locked in and let out a short exclamation as he reportedly retreated. The inspector frowned. He pressed the retreating constable's shoulder. Constable's like a police officer, right? Circled around him and approached the bedroom. While he swept his gaze, his expression immediately changed. In the bedroom, on a wooden bed, there was a man lying there. His hands were tied to the bedpost. He was naked with deep and shallow marks on his body. His blood had long been drained, dyeing the bedsheets and blankets beside him dark red. On a cursory glance, the deceased had apparently been bound by mental wire, cutting into his skin and flesh, right into the bones. The scene was still affected by policemen who had seen many murder scenes. Furthermore, it had a diabolical feeling like it was a ritual. As the inspector was about to say something, 2 people rushed into the room. One of them attempted to take photos, as the other bombarded him with his questions. Another murder case. Hasn't there been many murder cases in East Bar recently? I feel like there's always been. Oh, kinky? Yeah, it's definitely had a BDSM type of... Yes, thank you, Mac. Definitely was a BDSM ritual. Officer, do you think it's a serial murderer? The black-haired, blue-eyed inspector frowned and waved his hands. Do not interfere with the scene, otherwise we will view you as a criminal accomplice. Really? He then said to the constable from before, Kazakhs. I think I'm pronouncing it. Average Eastboro police case. Man, Eastboro was freaky, man. I thought it was I thought what's it called? Intis was the freaky capital, but no, maybe Eastboro is a little freaky here and there. Kha'Zix, please escort the two. I think I pronounced right. Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, please escort the two reporters away. Tell them that if any had any questions, ask them for the new department, the Civilist Yard. After the reporters were escorted out of the crime scene, the inspector led alongside. I'm going on the newspapers again. Damn it. In Empress Borough, the opulent villa of Earl Hall, another murder in East Borough. The victim is suspected to have been the abused before being killed. Having had dinner, Audrey was in the activity room casually reading the backland evening newses. Upon hearing his daughter's soft muttering, Earl Hall shook his head and sighed. This isn't new in East Borough. The statistics show that there are people dying every day in there. It's far from one person. Audrey didn't pay too much attention to the matter. After a casual chat with her parents and brothers, she returned to the room with her golden retriever, Susie. The human and dog could read the other's minds without any exchanging of words. The latter stood by the door as a guard while Audrey locked the door. She sat by her bed and chanted Mr. Fool's honorific name. After a few seconds, she saw a dark red beam of light surge to drown everything. Audrey arrived at the door above the Great Fog. Sorry, I mispronounced that. Audrey arrived above the Great Fog, coming inside the magnificent and ancient palace. She then saw a small room to the side. A small room above the Great Fog? The model door was ajar. It's much better than the old confessional from before. Oh, okay, never mind. However, this doesn't match Mr. World's character. That something happened to his twisted mind. And Thon Audrey, I feel like he kind of does have to have a conversation with her after what happened there. Hello, Curly Baboons. Hello, man. Long time no see, guys. And Thon Audrey entered the room and closed the model door. She had previously had a few follow-up appointments with the World Gerben Sparrow and concluded that he had fully recovered. To her surprise, she received a request from him for another treatment. This left her puzzled as she felt a little intrigued. In the rather spacious dark room, Audrey leaned against the wall and obviously had another person behind it. Her body slowly slid down as she knelt down with her legs placed diagonally. In the calm and serene atmosphere, she adjusted her state of mind and said with a brisk tone, "Good evening, Mr. World." Just as she said that, Audrey's spiritual intuition already knew the situation where her body of heart and mind are in common paralysis, her emotions were moved. Gloomy, disheartened, confused, depressed, and having no interest in anything, Mr. World's current problem is completely different from the last one. What happened this time? Audrey gently bit her lip and calmly made a judgment. Used her timely, I can't pronounce this word, I'm gonna need Mick. Her timely placate? Bro? Music? Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, let me reread this part again. Just as he said, wow, I can't read, man. I'm so messed up on reading right now. I am not in reader mode. Oh my God, I apologize. I'm so sorry. Just as she said that, Audrey's spiritual intuition already knew the situation with her body of heart and mind are in common paralysis, his emotions are moods. Gloomy, disheartened, confused, depressed, and having no interest in anything, Mr. Roy's current problem is completely different from the last one. What happened this time? Gloomy, disheartened, confused, depressed, and having no interest in anything. Not this one? All right, let's retry this again after we play the wrong sealed vessel. So I apologize. We're not in streamer mode today. That is my fault. We will be back better, stronger on our second volume 5 read through. Gloomy, disheartened, confused, depressed, and having no interest in anything, Mr. World's current problem is completely different from the last one. What happened this time? Audrey gently bit her lip and calmly made a judgment and used a timely placate. This was one of the most useful powers of a psychiatrist. In ancient times, it was called psychoanalysis. The dark clouds behind the wall scattered significantly. Gerben Sparrow finally hoarsely said, "Good evening, Miss Justice." Leaning against the wall, Audrey thought and canceled her original plan. She maintained her brisk tone and said, "I'm very curious about your recent experiences. It seems you have had too many encounters. There's no need to think about anything else. Let's just have a chat first, just like we're friends. If you're interested in my life, I'm also willing to share with you some of my interesting matters." On the opposite side of the wall, Gerben Sparrow fell silent for a moment. Without answering the question, he asked, "What hopes do you have for the future?" Audrey's eyes started slightly to the side as she replied seriously, "To advance myself, to work hard, to become a demigod, as to better protect my father, mother, and brothers. Oh, I've recently visited the applicants to Bercy Foundation with the other staff of the foundation. Their living conditions are really worse than I imagined. Although I've read some reports and was mentally prepared, I still found it unsettling when I saw it with my own eyes. A girl who was just a few years younger than me was very short and skinny. She doesn't fill her stomach daily, and she only has 2 tattered dresses. When she said she wished to study, her eyes were extremely pure and filled with earnest desire. I can't forget it to this day." Aw. As she spoke, Audrey acutely sensed a change in Gerben Sparrow's mental state. It was no longer a completely still lake, and it was now rippling and undiluting. Damn, man. I'm sad. No, everything's updated. You got me unhinged. No, you didn't get me. After a short deliberation, the psychiatrist continued as though she didn't seem to notice anything. "I once anticipated having a beautiful wedding, wishing that my prince will appear like those popular novels. However, after becoming a spectator, I realized that I might never be able to fulfill this dream. I can often read the true thoughts of those men and see through their lies." Oh. I'm able to confirm that many people aren't as nice as I imagined, and it has left me disappointed, huh? In a few more years, I might be able to appreciate people for their flaws, but really it's difficult to do so now. Noticing that German Sparrow, who had his back... Wait, what? No, wait. No. German X Audrey? There's been a few hints sprinkled throughout since like volume 3 and 4, and now 5. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just keep reading. Noticing that German Sparrow, we'll talk about it later. Noticing that German Sparrow, who had his back to her wall, having these emotions of laughter, Audrey did timely placate on him. Then she heard him ask, "You once gathered information about dragons for the sun. You should have some understanding of the dragon imagination. If I were to tell you that your father, mother, and brothers are imagined by spectral pathways, kings of angels, and they did not really exist, what would be your reaction? I'll definitely collapse on the spot and directly lose control. Mr. World has a psychological problem because of his discovery that the thing he had been anticipating, his ultimate goal, will never be fulfilled. Audrey was first alarmed by German Sparrow's question before she realized the essence of the question. She didn't reply as she asked in a guiding manner, "You seem to have witnessed the destruction of hope, huh?" There's a self-deprecating scoff sounding from the wall behind Audrey. Indeed, I once thought that I had a family. Later, I realized that it was only extravagant hope of mine. Why do you say that? Audrey asked like she was having a casual chat. I'm gonna lower the volume down on my end just a little bit, just because it's a little bit loud for me. Well, the music is definitely a little bit loud for me. Give me a sec. Why do you say that? Audrey asked like she was having a casual chat. German Sparrow fell silent for a few seconds before saying, "Have you heard those fairy tales that Emperor Rizzo used for bringing up children? Those are my childhood memories." Audrey acknowledged. At the same time, she discovered that Mr. World's emotions were clearly stirred on the other side of the wall. Repressing pain was surging out. Oh my, the music is a little bit loud for me. This time, Audrey didn't use placate. Her spiritual intuition and professional knowledge told her that he needed to vent it out. Then you should know of the Sleeping Beauty and her princess. I'm sorry, the result copy Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty and her princess. German said with a soft, hoarse voice, "There's no such person who also entered a deep sleep until he suddenly woke up one day. He believes that his family is still around and he works hard to improve himself, hoping that he can one day find them." German Sparrow said with a soft, hoarse voice, "There's one such person who has entered a deep sleep until he suddenly woke up one day. He believes that his family is still around and he works hard to improve himself, hoping that he can one day find them. This becomes his main driving force in life. Finally, he realized that he has slept for at least 300 years or even more than 1,000 years, perhaps even longer. He can never find anything that he once had anymore." Wait, what? What? He realized that he has slept for at least 300 years or even more than 1,000 years, perhaps even longer. He can never find anything that he once had anymore. What? What the fuck? What? How the fuck does that make sense? What? Did I miss? I know I missed something at the end of volume 4, but what? Read? Okay, I'll be quiet. The intense pain and sense of loss was extremely clear to Audrey. She came to realization. The gloomy, restrained experience and ruthless Mr. World also has his own goals and reason for existing. This is in line with his gentle heart. How pitiful. Although he was giving an example of using a fairy tale, some of the emotions he felt when saying certain words reflect reality. When he mentioned deep sleep, family, 300 years, more than 1,000 years, even longer, never find, his pain clearly increased. This means that he's from an ancient time? What? And has lived to this day due to certain encounters. This mentions situation of Mr. Fool being an awakening ancient god. It's no wonder he has become his blessed. Audrey quickly grasped the key to this matter. She pursed her lips and pondered for a moment. Did his family say anything? Did they say what they wanted him to do when he wakes up? What? Stop. What? Wait, I'm so confused. Wait. I need to lower the volume a lot more on my end. Yes, I remember the cocoons. Okay, everybody chill out. Chill. Am I recording this? Wait, bro. Every 2 messages I send to censor, I can't. I don't know what's with the censoring on YouTube. Oh my god. I'm tweaking out over here. How does that make any sense? Wait, hold up. Roselle woke up 200-300 years ago. Yes, check. Got it. A cocoon there's 3 cocoons, but it's not like the cocoons have a timestamp. That like, oh, this cocoon has 3. Like, what? He doesn't know for how long he was in the cocoons. Okay, so it's just implying he doesn't know how. Oh, okay. He doesn't know how long he's been in the cocoons. Got it. Okay, so for all, okay, got it. I thought he had concrete proof that he was in a cocoon for 300 years. Like, what? How? You will understand the bit, I think. Okay, that makes more sense. There was 3 cocoons. One was Roselle, but Roselle was from 300 years ago. So he's like, huh? If Roselle hatched, no, or like if I'm one of the cocoons, if I'm suspected to be one of the cocoons and Roselle was 300 years ago, and my cocoon is right next to these other 2, who knows how long I've been here? Okay, that makes more sense. Holy shit. Okay, actuality, I think I know why my message is hidden. Really? What was it? He has proof it's been 300 years, but it could be more? What? Where is the proof? Wait. Where is the proof? Test? I'm sorry. What was the proof? Is the like what's the catchphrase? If the proof is in the pudding, it was a little unexpected reading that. Roselle is the proof. How the fuck is Roselle the proof? Oh, your mother is the proof. Wait. No. Wait. Oh, wait. No. For all, like, we don't know when the cocoons get made. Wait, hold on. Who am I to start an argument with you guys? You guys would know this. It's not like you guys. It's not like you guys are wrong. My dumbass. I'm over here starting drama for no reason. Keep reading. Yes, I'll keep reading. Look at me starting drama. Look at me starting more LOTM drama with my own community. I apologize. At least 300. Got it. I don't know if I necessarily buy that, because for all we know, his cocoon could have been made a year ago and then it hatched. Read what I said if you don't understand this. Okay. People and the other cocoons are stuck like they were before. That means they were all taken at once. Klein had been there at least since Roselle. So even if he goes back to his family is dead. Huh. Fucking Mick. Okay, thank you. That makes a lot more sense, Cammy. Thank you. He was one of the cocoons 300 years ago. Mick made me laugh. Don't buy that. Keep reading. Wait, oh shit. Okay. Oh man. Meaning of existence. Nah, man, I can't read this. Look, I'm getting emotional. What the fuck? So it's not gonna be. Oh man, I'm getting so sad. It's not gonna be a happy ending. Oh man, that's sad. He's not gonna go back to his family. Man, I really thought. I got a tear in my eye. I really thought he was gonna go back to his family at the end of the series. Holy shit, man. I took the biggest whiff of copium, man. That's Klein's area right now. Man, I took the biggest whiff of copium I've ever had, man. I genuinely thought maybe, just maybe, he can go back to his family. But I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, next chapter. God damn, it took us 23 minutes to read that. Jeez, Jesus. Praise the fool. All right, man. Wow. All right, okay, that makes more sense. Bro thought. Read it a little bit more. Yeah, let's keep reading. I'll be quiet. Chapter 948. It's called Meaning of Existence. From Audrey's point of view, Mr. World's current situation wasn't him suffering from a mental illness, nor was it close to pushing him to the state of losing control. It was because his goal in life and the meaning to his existence had been destroyed. It left him with a psychological barrier that needed some guidance. Once she helped him set up a short-term goal. I need to take off one headphone. I think that's what's my problem right now. Once she helped him set up a short-term goal, allowing him to find the meaning in life, the problem will slowly be resolved. And the music is way too low. Let me raise it up for you. In the serene and silent darkness, Audrey heard German Sparrow answer in a deep voice across the wall, no. As expected, Audrey wasn't surprised as she asked, then did he search for his family's last words? Did he search for the grave? Did he try to figure out the reason for his deep sleep? The spirit body behind the wall seemed to vanish for a few seconds, and there wasn't a single sound. After a moment, the hoarse voice continued, no, not yet. That means that's a possibility in the future. Audrey felt relieved, and she clearly felt that German Sparrow's emotional state wasn't as heavy and gloomy as before. Without any interest in anything, he had a certain level of drive and a tiny sense of urgency. He was just still in a state of confusion. What a first chapter, man. Wow, I think this is the best chapter 1 so far that I've read. I think this is definitely the best first chapter 1. Clyde and Audrey on their date right now? I feel like it kind of is, man. Like all these one-on-one conversations now. He had a certain level of drive and a tiny sense of urgency. He was just still in a state of confusion. Taking this opportunity, Audrey cast Plastate again. The effect was much better than before. At the very least, she believed that Mr. World had used this impetus to escape from the abyss of gloominess and depression, returning to a normal person disheartened state. Following that, Audrey did impress her regard how he could find clues or investigate, because this could bring about some resistance. She nodded in their dark room in a natural manner and said, yes, there are many things to do. Uh-oh. Man, this is such a scuffed read-through today. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Taking this opportunity, Ajicast played disheartened state. You're muted? No, I'm unmuted now. I'm unmuted. You got me. I was muted for a second. Following that, Audrey did impress on regarding how he could find clues or investigate, because this could bring about some resistance. She nodded in the dark room in a natural manner and said, yes, there are many things to do and many things that need amending. Perhaps you will have the chance of meeting someone from the same bloodline. Perhaps a family member of his hadn't died from that age, or he had ended up living to this day due to some reason. The reason there was the meaning to life because of the infinite possibilities. In the process of searching, making sure to not miss one of your surroundings. Life isn't a one-way street. There are many branches and alleys. If only the former exists, how boring would it be? You should know how to approach it, broaden your horizons, and to discover. Trying hard to recall all the suitable words she read in books, Audrey suddenly thought of something as her voice softened significantly. Also, don't wear that thick mask. The thinner and transparent ones don't matter because everyone wears a mask when interacting with others. No one likes to directly express one's relatively private secrets to others, and both a way to protect oneself and also a way to respect others. When Mr. World has a certain number of friends, a new meaning in life will naturally be formed. Audrey added inwardly, but she ultimately didn't say it out loud. She believed that it might even backfire. Unsurprisingly, German Sparrow fell silent again, seemingly still in confusion. After a few seconds, a voice that wasn't that hoarse sounded again. Thank you for your straightening me out and for your treatment. No, this is all the result of your strength inside you. Audrey replied seriously. She cast a final placate to confirm Mr. World's mental state was back to normal and that it wouldn't relapse. She then heard German Sparrow say, let's end it here for today, okay? Audrey adjusted her tone and briskly replied, of course, it's not a serious problem. I can do another follow-up whenever you're free next week. Also, if it's possible, make some medicine to stabilize your mental state. Take it for 7 consecutive days. The ingredients are 10 grams of chamomile powder, 5 grams of rosemary powder, 10 milliliters of lemon balm extract. During this period, don't reduce your consumption of desserts and don't reduce your constipation. Don't reduce your consumption of desserts and try to relax yourself in an appropriate manner. In the dark and silent room, she propped herself up against the wall with her hands and slowly stood up. At this moment, Grimmer's voice passed through the wall. What's a consultation fee? Audrey held one hand to the wall and turned her head and thought, wait till I get the potion formula for sequence 5 of the speculative pathway. I might need you to help me find the ingredients. If psychology alchemist provides me with the ingredients, huh? She curled the ends of her lips and said, when you return from the southern continent to Backland, remember to bring me some of your local produce as a gift. A super luxurious and light transportation coffin that's carried by 8 people. On the other side of the wall, Klein had the inexplicable urge to lampoon. He then stood up with a cling to the wall and sent Miss Justice back to the real world. With a wave of his hand, the room vanished. He returned to the seat of the seat of honor. The long bronze table sat at the seat that belonged to the fool. In front of him, there was a black emperor, tyrant, and red priest card of blasphemy. That was the card we got. The red card of blasphemy on the right. On the left, there was Creeping Hunger, which Leonard Mitchell had sent back via his Miss Messenger to Renette Tanker. I owe Miss Messenger 10,000 gold coins again? Wait, what? Why again? I owe Miss Messenger 10,000 gold coins again. Klein retracted his gaze and raised his right hand to rub his temples. To prevent Instant Wolf from escaping through the spirit world, he had already communicated... To prevent Instant Wolf from escaping through the spirit world, he had already communicated with Renette Tanker before he made plans for the murder. She was in charge of chasing away all the spirit world creatures around Revival Square in exchange for the same 10,000 gold coins. Okay, that makes more sense. Wow, the music is really loud. I'm sorry. The only thing that caught him by surprise was that 008 was more terrifying than he imagined. With Insegul suffering from deity's curse and with the King of Angels, Adam, having drained it, its first attempt was able to attract an unknown creature which could pass through Renette Tinker Seal. If not for Dally Simmons' forceful spirit channeling and signing a pact, Insegul might very well have escaped. Of course, while under deity's curse, even if Insegul were to successfully escape, there's a high chance of him encountering other misfortunes, such as being thrown by an unknown creature to somewhere more dangerous or having it directly cause him harm. However, this wasn't within Klein's control. As he thought, then he had 10,000 gold coins in debt again. Klein felt a headache, but his mental state was a lot better. After seeing the cocoon above the great fog and the door of the light beyond the staircase of light, he has suffered a shock that was as though a river had broken through its banks. He felt that all his expectations had been shattered. His mature worldview, outlook on life and values had crumbled as a result, causing his entire being to fall into a turbid state, as though he were a walking zombie. The Undying. Thankfully, he still had his innate desire to live and has sought out his private psychiatrist, Miss Justice Audrey, in time of treatment. Theo Klein exhaled and forced himself to turn his thoughts towards the cocoon. As for the scene he saw, his first reaction was an extremely high-level existence or sealed artifact had used different means to grab a large group of people from Earth at the same moment in time. Here, there were people who used luck enchantment ritual. Others brought strange silver plates or had their phones hit by some strange virus. And then these transmigrators had their souls sealed and set. Wait. So this is his theory. An extremely high-level existence or sealed artifact had used different means to grab a large group of people from Earth at the same moment in time. Okay, at the same moment in time. That's why they're all wearing the same type of clothes at the same moment in time. Here, there were people who used the luck enhancement ritual. Others bought strange silver plates, like Roselle, or had their phones hit by some strange virus. What the fuck? On their phones? Oh, they were holding their phones? These transmigrators had their souls sealed inside the cocoon and were left hanging above the door of light, awaiting particularity opportunities before being sent to the real world. Based on Klein's observation, the door of light didn't have any intelligence. If it was operating based on pure instinct, this also meant that it also had that as long as the conditions were met, it would catalyze a cocoon and deliver the soul inside to a specific target's body. Based on the current circumstances, Klein guessed that there was probably two conditions that needed to be met. First, there mustn't be any other transmigrators prior, or the transmigrator had already been deemed to have failed or died. So Amon wouldn't be a transmigrator. Second, the calling out of certain object or item or ritual. For instance, Klein and Moretti had followed the Antigonus family notebook to perform the dark divination. As for the rest, it's impossible to know unless I can find the corresponding content in Emperor Roseau's diary. Putting together everything that I know, my current theory should be very close to the truth. This will make it easy to explain why, despite being from the same era as the Emperor on Earth with less than a year in between us, our entry into the real world was separated by slightly more than 200 years. It's because we transmigrated at the same time, but we were released in different eras. Before entering the real world, who knows how long we've been asleep for? A brother from next door. Oh, that's a saying they have, right? Like brother, sister. A brother from next door. Klein leaned back into his chair and his eyes shimmered before turning gloomy again. This was a hypothesis he came up with based on the conditions of the Door of Light, his situation, the Emperor's diary. Of course, this didn't mean that there weren't any possibilities. At present, Klein was just unable to find the evidence to support them. For example, a cocoon might represent the life of a transmigrator, but this was in contradiction with Klein's own recovery or lack of change in his spare body, and if the hypothesis wasn't too difficult from the truth, it meant that he had left Earth transmigrating over for at least 200 or even 1,000 years. Even if he found a way and method. Wait, but where's he getting the 1,000 part? If Roselle was 200, where's he pulling the other 1,000 from? Amon could still be a transmigrator. It just means that he failed and didn't die. Oh, that's why he did say failed or die. So wait, Klein is suspecting that Amon is a transmigrator, correct? The first transmigrator. Okay. He was unable to remember. Just speculate. He's just guessing. Okay. Now I understand the part where at least 200, 300. He highball. Okay, because we don't know when the first transmigrator left. Okay, it has to be Amon, because he said if they didn't die or fail, maybe he failed, so they still sent out another. No. Okay. And if hypothesis wasn't too difficult from the truth, it meant that he had left Earth transmigrating for at least 200 years or even 1,000 years. Even if he found a way and method to go back to Earth, he was unable to return to the place he called home. Compared to the gap in distance, the barrier of time left him in greater despair. This was the reason why it caused Klein's mental state to instantly collapse. Returning home was always his ultimate goal. Miss Justice is right. There are still many questions to resolve and probe. What's the meaning behind hanging so many transmigrators behind a door of light? What goal does it have? Yeah, why? Who set up everything back then? How many people were pulled in here? Where has the other person gone? The celestial worthy of heaven and earth for blessings. Klein tried hard to engross himself in thinking so as to find a new goal for the future. Unfortunately, he was only able to approach the door of light and not touch it. He was unable to touch it, grasp it, or even carefully inspect it. He had no means to do any studies to receive any direct information. I should consider finding clues for the real world. Also, since reaching sequence 4, allowing me to reach that gray cloud and see the door of light, will there be another qualitative change at sequence 2? Will I be able to gain control over the door of light? Wait, whoa. Will I be able to gain control over the door of light when that happens, allowing me to figure out the truth? Huh. I was affected by the 7 lights, the goddesses and roads attitude. I almost imagine myself being the real owner of the gray fog and believe that I'm some great master above the spirit world. Now, from the looks of it, I'm just a test subject that was randomly thrown down. Oh. Once I fail, the next transmigrator will appear. Klein thought as he tapped the edge of the long bronze table. He was rather curious of another point. 3 broken cocoons, with one representing himself, another representing the emperor. Who was the third one? Who was the third one, man? The creator. The original creator. Maybe. Who is the third one? I would probably give up and start a new life here. Dude, it was me. Dude, this is the most complicated series I have ever fucking read. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the most, like, I wouldn't say confusing, even though I get lost a lot. This is definitely one of the more this is definitely like a 9x9 series in terms of complexity. Like, this series is so fucking intricate, bro. It's like the second you're not fully locked in, it's GG. Random names go. I don't know. Random names. It's a one of the King of Angels. Madame Dally? No. Sorry. I'm not gonna. No. I can't use Madame Dally's name in vain like that. Next chapter, 949, Direction Investigations. Chapter 949 is called Direction Investigations. Klein's first thought of suspicion was undoubtedly Elf King Sonothrin. What the? How? Klein's first target of suspicion was undoubtedly Elf King Sonothrin. The ancient god had created chopsticks, made blood cakes, enjoyed eating animal innards, and was good at using spices for cooking. His descendants had facial features, hair colors, and eyes that resembled Asians on Earth. Yes, we did talk about that in Volume 4, yes. Not only did Klein suspect that he was a transmigrator, even Emperor Rizal shared his feelings. Of course, after a deeper level investigations, Rizal had ruled out the hypothesis from their languages, symbols, traditions, and proverbs, and other facades, which means Elf King Sonothrin's mother would have been the transmigrator. And that's why he had all those looks and knowledge. Okay. Klein had just his own schizo theories just like you? Definitely, dude. Who has crazier theories? And I also, you guys said I called something back in Volume 1. I don't remember what the fuck I said in Volume 1. You guys said something like, you literally just figured out something that's really important. I don't know what I said. No, yeah, I remember that. I remember saying the moon was probably a cocoon back in Volume 1. You said a lot of stuff. I do remember saying the moon was probably a cocoon, but there are cocoons that we found out in Volume 4. Infinite Money writing Shakespeare. Although none of us noticed. You guys told me something back in Volume 1. Like, you called something big, but I don't remember. All right, let's continue. As for why elves wielded the sailor pathway, were close to nature, Klein didn't know why. It was just something as described by the murals and texts they left behind. I for once thought that the Elf King is unlikely to be a transmigrator, but after seeing the 3 shattered cocoons, I can't be too sure. Perhaps he might be a fellow countryman, huh? I can't rule out the possibility that his ancient god isn't a transmigrator, but that one of the high-ranking elves around him is one. Okay. If it was him, then one of his prior elf people would have been one. This can also allow the tradition to pass down in the name of the Elf King. Klein tapped his fingers as he thought silently. Almost at the same time, he had 2 directions for the investigations. Grizzel's travels had elven songster Syatis, who served Sonothrin's queen of Calamity Kohanim. As long as I enter her sea of collective subconscious, I should be able to see or make contact with the elves and find memory fragments regarding the ancient god. I can also use hypnosis directly, allowing her to subconsciously to speak, but the problem is that I'm not good at such matters. The last time I attempted to delve into Rizal's subconscious, I felt quick-tempered and could hardly calm down. Although I'm already a demigod, oh my god, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to follow demigod fights, man. Oh, I'm scared. You remember it? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is it a Zik? I'm scared, man. I'm scared for demigod fights. I'm already a demigod. It also becomes more pressing that I resist the inclination towards the madness and losing control, and I won't be able to regulate my mental state for quite some time. Forcefully spirit channeling isn't suitable for such a situation, and for such a target, Klein frowned slightly. He felt that he might need a mystical item that was a relatively high-level sequence in the spectator pathway, or an assistant that was at least a hypnotist. He began seriously considering the possibility of getting Miss Justice's help. There's no problem doing so. It's not impossible to leave by entering as a spirit body above the Grey Fog. I don't have to worry that Miss Justice will pry into the secret of a transmigrator. As long as Cyathis doesn't have any knowledge of this, her subconscious and collective subconscious wouldn't point towards such a conclusion, and I can find the desired clues and details so that they don't pay any notice. The biggest problem is that Miss Justice has no adventuring experience, and she lacks it. Entering the sea of subconscious or the ancient figure is very dangerous to her. There might be remnants of the ancient god in there anytime. Once I don't have the help of a psychiatrist, I will also end up at the same. Even if I'm getting Miss Justice as that support, I'll have to wait until she reaches sequence 5 so that she can use her high level to make up for her lack of experience. When that happens, we can first attempt to hypnotize Cyathis and see where we can learn from her mouth. If there's nothing of value, we can consider entering her dream to delve deeper into her consciousness and step into the sea. Yes, the dream charms I create now aren't potent enough. I might not be able to maintain such a long exploration. Sigh. The goddesses won't directly respond to such trivial matters. It's a fixed feedback based on a fixed ritual. The corresponding beyond her characteristics have been rented to the church. Don't tell me that I need to bring Leonard with me. I wonder if pulling someone at the spirit body level can avoid the notice of Grandpa inside him. I'll do another research over the next few days. Klein drained his thoughts and considered his search for the target of suspicion. Low sequence fights are too boring. Angels plus fights are too complicated, but demigod fights are just right. Like it's the sweet spot of sand. Okay, so it's the sweet spot. Okay, so demigod fights are gonna be the sweet spot. All right. This person didn't seem too special in the past, nor did Klein believe that he was a transmigrator. But now that his mind calmed down, he began processing his thoughts and analyzing. Klein realized that many points that he viewed as common sense weren't that simple or careful thought. They contained an unspeakable sense of horror. He suspected the ancient sun god, the city of Silver Crater, the 7 churches separate Bibles had similarities to Earth Western religions. The ancient sun god, the city of Silver's creators, the 7 churches separate Bibles have similarities to Earth Western religions. It is similarly the case for their masses. Based on Little Sun's descriptions, from what Emperor Razel saw from Adam's chapel. Oh, wait a second. Adam was the praying priest in white robe, in a beard. When we went inside the chapel before the whole final act in Volume 4, that was fucking Adam praying. I just realized that. When he was talking about the creator, that was Adam talking. Yes? Holy shit, I just realized that. That was Adam talking. Yup. Oh, I got that. Hey, I got that. You see? I'm not forgetful. I remember. Now, I'll be honest. I forgot who spoke to him. I don't remember who entered the chat. I don't remember who went to it. Oh, it was Little Sun? No. I forgot who was talking to him. Okay, but see, I remember the conversation. Adam hyping his daddy up. He is definitely hyping him up. All right, the 7 churches separate Bibles have similarities to Earth's Western religions. It is similarly the case for their masses. Based on Little Sun's description, from what Emperor Rizal saw from Adam's chapel and the content of the murals inside the Forsaken Lands of Gods, it's clear that ancient sun god's main symbol is the cross. He gave his children the names Adam and Amon. The angels beneath him all have wings of light. It's not seen in the other pathways to this date. It's unknown how he rose up. He suddenly appeared late in the Second Epoch, killed several ancient gods, and took their various authorities. I never thought much about these details in the past. It's quite scary now that I think deeply of it. Klein drew a gasp as he began feeling more convinced that it was the ancient sun god instead of the elf king Sonothrine. His experiences were just too legendary, more of a protagonist of an era than Emperor Rizal. Of course, his outcome was rather tragic, becoming a feast for his kings of angels. Emperor Rizal was also tragic, but in no way terrible. Does this imply that Amon and Adam's attitude, in a certain sense, they believe that the Grey Fog is related to their father, but due to their... Well, okay, this is getting too big brain. I gotta read slow. Doesn't this imply Amon and Adam's attitude in a certain sense? They believe that the Great Fog is related to their father, but due to their different pathways, they made different choices. There's a certain chance that Adam can't see the Great Fog. He isn't a high sequence beyonder of the Fate, Marauder, Seer, and Apprentice pathways. Clients nodded slightly. Based on these clues, he had also had a direction investigation that didn't require him to make contact with the major figures in the angel at the angel level. And Grizel's travels lived ascetic snowmen who survived the third epoch and had served the ancient sun god. The problem circles back to itself. There's nothing to doubt about the rest of the time being. Klein slowly exhaled, reached out his right hand and picked up the newly obtained Cards of Blasphemy Red Priest card. Infusing his spirituality into it, the card produced a blood red light, forming a palm-sized illusionary door. The pages of the book flipped, presenting portraits of a lifelike Rousseau Gustave. He was either wearing a hunter's attire, raising his middle finger, walking through a burning building, or standing behind a tribe. He had all sorts of attires and was doing all kinds of things. Sequence 9, Hunter. Sequence 8, Provoker. Sequence 7, Pyromaniac. Sequence 6, Conspirer. Sequence 5, Reaper. Sequence 4, Iron-Blooded Knight. Sequence 3, War Bishop. Sequence 2, Weather Warlock. Sequence 1, Conqueror. Sequence 0, Red Priest. This volume is called Red Priest. Okay. Klein's gaze swept past the different portraits of the tarot card and the imprints of context in his mind. He wasn't surprised of this pathway Sequence 0 ritual to become a god. This is because Hermes had once told Rizal that the red in the Red Priest meant the red of war. Therefore, when he saw stirring up a war that swept an entire continent to gain victory, he wasn't stirred at all. After flipping the Red Priest card, he began thinking about the problems and felt his mental state improve. He rubbed his temples, finally feeling exhausted. I should set a short-term goal and investigate the person behind the Great Smog of Backland. This is something that I've yet to complete, yet I should not continue the arms deal according to my original plans and return to Backland after receiving the money. Now that there are two clues: first, the captain of the Royal Guards, Viscount Stratford, and the other MI9's Deputy Director, Brigadier General Conus Kilgore. Klein tried to pull himself up and decided to occupy himself with something. Before leaving the Grey Fog, he threw the mental medicine recipe that Miss Justice had given him to the Crimson Star, representing the moon Emlyn. He requested this vampire, who was good in making it. Oh my god, I can't read. He was good at making it to make a week's worth at 1 pound bottle. Backland, within the Odora family villa, Emlyn White, who was waiting in the activity room, curled his lips and thought to himself, a transaction that's just 7 pounds. I really don't want to do it. The world can concoct it himself if he's a little careful. He had objected to the world's request because after spending 5,000 pounds to buy the Sequence 5 Vampire Beyonder characteristics, he only had 730 pounds left. At this moment, Cosmian walked over looking like a middle-aged gentleman. After exchanging a bow, the Sanguine Baron asked, Emlyn, why are you suddenly here? Emlyn immediately felt a little guilty before recalling his previous experiences of conversing with the Hanged Man and the world. He tipped his chin slightly and answered in a seemingly casual manner. I received a Sequence 5 Scarlet Scholar Beyonder characteristic. I wonder when we can begin the ritual to make me a Viscount. Cosme was taken aback as he asked in surprise, you obtained a Scarlet Scholar Beyonder characteristic. Emlyn glanced at him and nodded with a faint smile. That's right. He didn't explain how he had obtained a Beyonder characteristic, and as though Cosme wasn't worthy of knowing, Cosme turned again but fell silent. After a few seconds, he said, wait till the next full moon. He paused and said, I happen to have something for you. My grandfather wishes to inform you that an important figure will be coming to Backland. He wishes to meet you. Emlyn's pupils dilated instantly. Wait, he? Capital H-E. Okay. The ancient ones of the Sanguine that lives since the second epoch to this day, together with the Grade Zero sealed artifacts, all those important existences at the angel level didn't exceed 5 in number. So there are only 5 people that have the title as he within the Sanguine that have lived since the second epoch. Okay. Who the fuck is it? We know the old man was like 2,000 years old. Okay. Okay, all right. Awesome. Man, this series, it's there's a lot, man. There is a lot in this series, man. There's definitely a lot. Timestamp. 49 minutes. Holy shit, man. 49 minutes when we only read 3 chapters. I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, I do have to wrap it up. I have to go out in 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. I definitely wasn't 100% focused. Definitely not. I am in the right headspace. I'm just not in streamer mode. Why do you think that this volume is called Red Priest? I don't know, man. It's like Why is it Red Priest? I'm sorry. Hold up. Red Priest. This is what I'm thinking. Medici is part of the hunter pathway, right? Right? Yes. Yes, he's part of the hunter pathway. We're probably going to get more on Medici in this volume, and that's why it's called Red Priest. Damn, how old is Emlyn if we convert him to human years? I'm fucking starting on. I'm all over the place today. Isn't he like 200 years old technically? Right? I'm thinking we're gonna get more on Medici this volume. Hunter Pathway Red Priest. That's why fucking Wiz has him in his thumbnail. What does Red Priest symbolize? I think we're gonna get something on Medici this volume. I think that's what it is. That's why fucking Wiz has Medici on his thumbnail. Volume 5, Red Priest. Finish this chapter is a good place to stop. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good place to stop, but I do have to stop. I have to head out in 10 minutes. I know, I'm sorry. I definitely was all over the place. I was not in streamer mode, so I do apologize for that. And since I wasn't gonna, I don't think I can stream tomorrow. I was like, I'll have to read on Wednesday. But since I didn't want to keep you guys waiting, I was like, let me stream right now for 2 hours. But then we did off for the notes. And since I wasn't in the right headspace, it took me so long to figure out that username was asking me if I wanted the author notes. But we'll leave it there. You know what? Hold up. I don't even know who the fuck was the woman watching everything happen. Right? Wasn't there a woman with like celestial eyes, right? Or there was like stars in her eyes, and she was just watching from high above, and like she watches or some shit like that. It was an unplanned one anyway, still as much as you need. Yeah, I think Emlyn, you know what? Yeah, for an unplanned stream, at least we got 3 early chapters. I think Emlyn is like 40 or something. Damn, he old. All right. Okay. Well, Volume 4 is my favorite volume. Volume 4 has probably, I don't know if it'd say best start. Did it have the best start? I can't remember how Volume 4 started. I think it had a good start. But point is, Volume 4 is the best volume, and it has the best ending. Volume 5 probably has the best intro. The Archbishop Ince was trying to hunt. The Archbishop Ince was trying to hunt. The Archbishop Ince was trying to hunt. Update the chapter number. Oh, I should update it. Wow, look. You see, you can tell I'm not in the right headspace. I forgot to update chapters this stream. That's how you know we're definitely not. That's how you know we weren't 100% locked in today. So I apologize for that. Look at that. Damn, man. Wow, it's been a while since I forget to update stuff. Yeah, definitely not 100% today. So we're going to leave it there. There are so many fucking unanswered questions in this series, and we are at 950. Volume 4 has the best ending so far. Easy repeating that sentence like he was going to divine it. Which one? The Insta one? The Evernight Church Bishop. This volume will be the most consistent in terms of lore, fights, and emotions. Oh, no. No, man. What do you mean emotions? Dude, what do you mean by emotions, then? You know what? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what you mean by emotions. It's weird. It's weird reading Lord of the Mysteries now after last stream. Last stream was so fucking emotional towards the end. It felt like it honestly. Oh wait, man! And then there's so many now there's Ouroboros. Ouroboros looks crazy badass. He looks really cool in that bunny suit. Milosh sent. I still can't get over that. That shit was funny. That was so out of nowhere. Like, is this a canon outfit? I don't think it's canon. By the way, you said LSC tomorrow. Let's see if Zay comes. I'm almost sad he didn't come yesterday. He didn't come last week. It broke my heart. Yeah, I know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for LSC's chapter tomorrow. Diff kinds of emotions. All right. I hope it's tears of joy. I feel like I'm rambling now. Yeah, we're kind of just rambling. I just want to say thank you guys. Elotim on Wednesday. Yeah, Elotim is definitely. Wait, no, I lied. Oh my God, I can't. It has to be a night stream. Shit, man. Okay, Wednesday is gonna be a night stream. It's gonna be a late stream on my end, so it might not work out for you guys. I think it might work. Don't worry. Wednesday is gonna be. I will do my best to stream tomorrow. Look, I'm gonna do my best to stream tonight, tomorrow night, and Wednesday night. because I'm busy all day Wednesday, and I might be busy all day spending time with my girl. And then I'm gonna be busy right now, but I'm gonna do my best to stream tonight, tomorrow night, Wednesday night. I'm gonna do my best. Day stream wouldn't work for me Wednesday. No, yeah, I cannot do mornings or day streams for the next 2 days. It's 5 a.m. here for me right now. Damn. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna do my best to come back later tonight. No promises, but I will do my best to come back. And I'm gonna quickly, if I do come back tonight, I will just read the first chapter. I'll read one chapter of Reverend Insanity, just because the new chapter came out today. So I want to read that since it came out today. And then we'll come back and then we'll do more. It's 6 a.m. over here. All right, you guys get some rest. No promises, but we should be able to come back tomorrow. I mean, we should be able to come back tonight, but no promises. I can't even schedule the thing. I might be able to schedule it, but all right, peace. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys hopefully in a few hours. And if not, Tuesday night, Wednesday night.